Noah, your wife is a liar and a manipulator. You have to choose, a wonderful mother or a useless wife. Miranda's smirk sent a shiver down my spine, her voice dripping with venom. Are you serious? You're actually trying to make my husband leave me. I shot back, my voice shaking with disbelief. But instead of responding, Noah remained silent. He turned on his heel and walked upstairs without a word. Moments later, I heard the sound of suitcases being packed. The soft thud of drawers closing, the zipping of bags, it all felt like a nightmare unraveling in slow motion. Then, the final blow. I heard Noah making a call to a moving truck. Miranda, standing beside me, folded her arms and watched with a triumphant smile, convinced she had won. But she was about to get the shock of her life. My name is Kelly. I'm 27 years old, a hard-working businesswoman, and today, I'm going to tell you a story that has more twists than a soap opera. It's a story about her, my mother-in-law. I've heard countless tales of difficult mothers-in-law, but nothing could have prepared me for Miranda. After enduring her torment for years, I decided it was time to share my story. Noah and I had been married for 2 years. We met in college when I was 20, and he was like a real-life prince, kind, caring, and adored by everyone. My life before him was different. I came from a family that never truly supported me. Even when I got into my dream university on a scholarship, they didn't celebrate. Instead, they doubted me, questioning whether I was good enough. To survive, I worked 2 jobs, barely had time to breathe, and had no social life. Then Noah came along, and everything changed. He became my safe space, my stress reliever, like finding free Wi-Fi when you have no data. Everything seemed perfect. Except for one thing. Miranda. Noah's parents were divorced, but he maintained a good relationship with both. He once told me that his ex-girlfriends had issues with how close he was to his mother. They must be overreacting, I thought. She seems sweet. I couldn't have been more wrong. At first, Miranda was the perfect mother-in-law, kind, welcoming, and supportive. But as time passed, little cracks began to show. I heard whispers from Noah's exes. Zoe told me that Miranda had embarrassed her in front of the whole family by criticizing her career. Evelyn confided that Miranda would show up uninvited, rearrange her furniture, and make passive-aggressive comments about cleanliness. Still, I thought, maybe she'll like me. I was naive. Noah had a generous heart. After he started working at his dad's business, he regularly sent money to his mother. I admired him for it, unaware that this generosity would become a weapon she'd use against me. When Noah and I moved in together, he insisted it was the best step for us. I was in my last year of college, juggling work and studies, and eager to start our future together. Everything seemed fine, until I met Miranda. I had already met his sister, Natalie, who was lovely. Then came graduation, where I finally met his parents. His father, Rowan, hugged me warmly, genuinely excited to meet me. His mother, Miranda, barely acknowledged me. She introduced me as Noah's friend, flashing a fake smile as if I didn't matter. I tried to start a conversation, but her responses were short and cold. Then, in the middle of my sentence, she cut me off with a cruel smirk. "I thought you were just another one of Noah's flings," she said casually. "He's like that, you know. But who knows, maybe you're different." The message was clear. She didn't think I was important. Still, I didn't give up. I kept trying to build a relationship with her. One day, as she casually adjusted the decor in her living room, she turned to me with a dismissive tone. "Noah is very impressionable," she mused. "He's brought so many girls here. Don't take it personally, but I don't get attached. It's only a matter of time before he moves on." Every word was a dagger. No matter how hard I tried, she refused to see me as anything more than a temporary phase in her son's life. That evening, as we drove home, Noah was buzzing with excitement. "So, what do you think of my parents?" he asked eagerly. I forced a smile. "Your dad was great," I said. "And, my conversation with your mom was fine." He smiled, satisfied with my answer, and didn't ask more. As time went on, Noah started visiting his mother more frequently, always inviting me along. I made excuses to stay home, still uncomfortable around her. Then came Christmas. Miranda was hosting a big family gathering and, to my surprise, invited me. Noah was thrilled. I agreed, hoping this was her way of extending an olive branch. I was wrong. At the party, Miranda ignored me, making sarcastic remarks whenever possible. Thankfully, I found solace in Noah's grandmother, a kind woman full of warmth. I thanked her, mentioning how much Noah had helped boost my confidence in business. Before I could finish, Miranda cut in. "Oh, dear, don't be so proud," she sneered. "Do you really think you'd be where you are without Noah's money? He's always been too generous." Her words sliced through me. I calmly explained that Noah had only given me a small loan, which I had already repaid. But she wasn't done. "Small or not everyone is that lucky. Honestly, it seems like your family realized that before you did." I felt the ground vanish beneath me. I stepped onto the balcony, letting the cold night air sting my face as silent tears fell. Noah found me minutes later, his face full of regret. He apologized and promised to fix things. His grandmother reassured me, offering kind words that helped, but inside, I was breaking. Inside, Miranda was yelling that I had ruined Christmas. Noah had enough. For the first time, he confronted her. Then he came back to me. "There won't be any more problems," he promised. I wanted to believe him. For his sake, I returned to the party. But Miranda wasn't done. She grew worse, spreading lies, manipulating family members, and even threatening to ruin our wedding. And then she did something unthinkable. She called our wedding venue, pretending to be me. She cancelled our reservation. The venue believed her. We lost our booking. We lost our deposit. And that was just the beginning. Noah stood frozen, his mother's venomous words hanging in the air. "You have to choose, a wonderful mother or a useless wife," Miranda sneered, her smirk filled with triumph. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My mother-in-law was actually trying to turn my husband against me. My heart pounded as I looked at Noah, expecting him to stand up for me. Instead, he said nothing. He just turned and walked upstairs. Moments later, I heard the sound of suitcases being pulled from the closet, zippers opening and closing. My chest tightened. Was he really packing? Was Miranda winning? Minutes later, a moving truck was called. Miranda's smug smile grew as she folded her arms, certain that she had finally driven a wedge between us. But what she didn't realize was that the shock of her life was coming. I'm Kelly, 27 years old, and today I'm sharing a story filled with more twists than a soap opera. It's about my mother-in-law, Miranda. I never imagined my life would turn into this kind of drama. I'm a hard-working businesswoman, and for the past 2 years, I've been married to Noah, the man I once thought was my safe space, my peace, my home. We met in college when I was 20. He was the kind of man people dream about, kind, caring, and adored by everyone who met him. My life, on the other hand, was far from easy. Coming from a family that never supported me, even my biggest achievements were met with doubt instead of celebration. When I got into my dream university on a scholarship, they barely acknowledged it. To survive, I worked 2 jobs, sacrificing sleep and a social life just to stay afloat. Then Noah came along, making life feel lighter, like a breath of fresh air after drowning for so long. Everything about our relationship felt perfect, except for one thing: Miranda. At first, she seemed warm, welcoming, the perfect mother-in-law. But I should have listened to the warnings. Noah's exes had spoken about her. Zoe told me how Miranda humiliated her in front of the entire family, questioning her career choices. Evelyn shared how she would show up uninvited, rearrange furniture, and make backhanded comments about the cleanliness of her home. I had brushed it off, thinking they must have exaggerated. Surely, she would like me? I was so wrong. The first time I met Miranda, she barely acknowledged me. At Noah's graduation, his father, Rowan, greeted me with open arms, but Miranda? She introduced me to the family as Noah's friend with a forced smile, making it clear that in her eyes, I didn't matter. And then, right in the middle of a casual conversation, she said it. "I thought you were just another one of Noah's flings. He's like that, you know. But who knows? Maybe you're different." It felt like someone had thrown ice water over me. I should have seen it coming. The warning signs were there from the start. But I refused to give up, determined to prove to her that I was here to stay. Then came the cruel remarks, the constant undermining, the way she would remind me, again and again, that I was just another passing phase in Noah's life. Yet, despite it all, I chose love. When Noah proposed, I said yes without hesitation. And that's when the real battle began. Miranda lost it when she found out. She called Noah's entire family, spreading lies, trying to convince them that he was making the biggest mistake of his life. But he stood by me, assuring me that he wouldn't let her ruin our happiness. She tried, though. She tried so hard. She sabotaged our wedding, impersonating me over the phone to cancel our venue. We lost the deposit, and Noah, torn between loyalty to his mother and his love for me, struggled to take action. It was the final straw. He changed all our wedding plans, added passwords to prevent further interference, and made it clear to Miranda that she would no longer have control over his life. Rowan, seeing the damage she had caused, stepped in to help, paying for our wedding cake as a gift. The wedding day arrived, and as expected, Miranda turned it into her personal tragedy. She sat in the front row, weeping like she had lost a loved one, trying to make the moment about her. But the biggest surprise. She had planned to object. We had anticipated it. The priest was instructed to skip that part entirely, robbing her of the dramatic moment she had been waiting for. Furious and humiliated, she spent the rest of the night at the bar, mourning her loss. "I lost my son," she wailed to Rowan, downing another drink. "I wanted to enjoy my wedding, but it felt tainted." The night ended with Noah holding me in his arms, whispering apologies over and over again. But even after the wedding, Miranda wasn't done. A few months later, she staged an accident, faking an injury, claiming she had fallen down the stairs and needed care. Without asking me, Noah invited her to stay in our home while she recovered. I was livid, but I held my tongue for Noah's sake. Then came the demands. She wanted me to cook for her, pamper her, treat her like royalty. But something felt off. She wasn't injured. I caught her walking around the house perfectly fine when she thought no one was watching. The security cameras confirmed it. She had been faking it all along. When Noah saw the footage, something inside him snapped. He confronted her, and for the first time, she had no escape. She resorted to crocodile tears, playing the victim, but he had finally seen the truth. And then, she said it. "You have to choose, Noah. A wonderful mother or a useless wife." That was the moment Noah made his decision. Wordlessly, he walked upstairs. Minutes later, he returned with her suitcases in hand. "Mom," he said, his voice steady, "it's time for you to leave." Miranda gasped, clutching her chest in exaggerated pain, but Noah was unmoved. "You insulted Kelly, tried to sabotage our marriage, and manipulated me for years. I won't allow it anymore." She begged, pleaded, tried to turn it around, but Noah stood firm. With one final, tear-filled glare, Miranda stepped out of our home, the door clicking shut behind her, a door that would remain closed. In the weeks that followed, Noah cut all ties with her. He blocked her on social media, distanced himself from family members who sided with her, and made it clear that I was his priority now. Rowan, his father, shook his head in frustration. "Noah, you let this go on for too long. Kelly suffered while you stood by." Natalie, his sister, was just as furious. "I warned you about Mom for years. You ignored it while Kelly endured her cruelty." Their words hit him hard, forcing him to confront a painful truth. He had spent years under his mother's control, blinded by manipulation. Now, he's even considering filing a restraining order to ensure she stays away for good. It's not an easy decision, but it's a necessary one. For the first time in years, we are free. Despite everything, we are happier than ever. Our love is stronger, built on trust, mutual respect, and the promise that no one, not even Miranda, will ever come between us again.